I came to Japan about 3 years ago and immediately started going to a Japanese school, and me not knowing anything about the culture, people, or the unwritten rules, I got into way too many awkward situations. So in this video I'm gonna talk about the 9 things that I learned from going to a Japanese school and the things that I noticed normal people doing in the outside world, so you don't have to experience the awkwardness firsthand and actually enjoy your stay in Japan. The first thing that you're not allowed to do is talk on your phone while on a train, and all the Japanese people take this one very seriously, so you should too, and if you still do it, you're gonna be looked down upon big time. I asked my Japanese friend why that is, and he answered me that just talking to someone that you know on the train, like in real life, is considered okay, because people who are commuting alongside you just take it as white noise and ignore you. I know, this one is very weird, but if you do it, you're gonna be considered as a fucking gaikokujin. Second thing that's not allowed to do is touch people. Now this one is a little bit weird, but is absolute heaven for introverts. Most of the time when greeting others in foreign countries, it is not uncommon to see people hug or do the little cheek kiss little thing, but in Japan it's considered weird and you're not gonna be seeing anyone doing it. And even something as simple as a handshake can cause awkwardness unless it's in a very businessy setup, and it will most likely catch people off guard. Even couples don't show affection on the street, and the only thing that you're gonna catch them doing is holding hands. Qatar moment. The third thing that I strongly advise you not do in Japan is approach people. Just don't fucking do it. If you see a cute girl on the street, forget about it and leave. Because if a Japanese person sees a foreign person approaching them, they're gonna look scared, not talk to you, and you're gonna visibly be seeing a person who doesn't want to be alive at that moment. So one time I went to a bank to return some money because I'm stupid and I forgot to pay off my debt. So I needed some help, right? And I approached the person standing next to me, like saying, "Yo, excuse me, but can you help me?" in Japanese, right? And they looked at me like this, didn't say anything, looked scared, did the little head movement, right? And they just left. They left the bank, and I'm just standing there like, what the actual just happened? Now I've lived in Russia, and tipping there isn't as big of a thing as in the US, but at least when you give them the tip, they're not gonna be staring blankly at you like this. "Check please." "Here you go, sir. Keep the change." Bruh. Nah, fuck this shit, I can't deal with foreigners no more. Japan is probably one of the only countries where tipping is widely unacceptable. You're gonna be like, "Here, take it," and they're gonna be like, "Nah, I don't need it." And you're gonna be like, "Nah, take it." And they're gonna be like, "No, fucking leave me alone." And it's gonna be this endless cycle of you trying to give them the tip and them not accepting it. So just don't do it and avoid the awkwardness. Fifth thing to never do when coming to Japan is when eating rice with chopsticks is to never stick them in like this, because it's inappropriate. And same thing goes for when handling food with said chopsticks, is to never take the food and give it to the other person with chopsticks, because that resembles something to do with funerals, and you usually do that with the bones of the deceased. So if you do that with food, that's just gonna be culturally inappropriate, so don't do it. Sixth thing to never do in Japan is have your own opinion. And I put it harshly, but it is true when you think about it. Japanese people preach the importance of peacefulness, and I understand this, but the way they achieve that is by never having arguments or debates in the first place. And this makes for very boring conversations, because they don't express their own opinion and just listen to you speak and go like, "Oh, hi, oh yeah. You see what I mean? That's not fun. Unless you're in class and the teacher doesn't deliberately tell you to express your opinion, you better shut your ass up, because no one wants to hear your bull. Seventh thing is taking off shoes in most places or small mom and pop shops. Now, they usually don't put up signs to say that you need to take off your shoes because it's seen as mandatory or like common knowledge. So they usually won't respond right away, like charging at you like, "Take off your shoes, big man," right? They won't do that, but they'll wait. And if you don't, they'll walk up to you, and it's gonna be very awkward, because it's probably gonna be like some old grandma talking to you, like Don't just take off your shoes. Signs to look for when entering a building and understanding if you need to take off your shoes or not is this thing, the little 5 centimeter bump, if you know what I'm saying. 8th thing is littering, and this is something I really love about Japan because literally everywhere, like all the streets in Tokyo, not in Tokyo, are extremely clean, and this is something like deep inside of Japanese people. Like they are never going to litter anywhere. But what you are going to notice is how little there are trash cans outside. Like you're literally never gonna find one. The only ones that you're gonna find are in a convenience store, like this one. Pretty cool. For example, 5 years ago, they were everywhere, right? In every single convenience store, usually standing outside. But now, they for some reason put them on the inside of the convenience store. Like look, they were here, now they're on the inside. Why? I don't get it. Littering is very bad in Japan, and if a Japanese person catches you doing it, they're gonna look at you with a death stare, and you're not gonna want to be alive at that moment. 9th thing that you should probably not do in Japan is jaywalking. Now, everyone loves jaywalking, I love jaywalking, and I know it's all illegal and shit, but I'm still gonna do it. I'm not gonna just stand there wasting time when there's no cars, no people, and nothing going on. I'll just cross the road. But Japanese people don't do it, even at night when there are no cars in a 1 kilometer radius. And I've personally seen this firsthand. And they're just gonna stand there waiting for the light to turn green. I haven't personally noticed any bad looks towards me when jaywalking, but when I asked my friend this, he said that he was raised this way, and if he crosses the road, it just feels weird for him. Also, if you start crossing the road first, there are probably like a few people who are gonna follow you. It's like a domino effect. And the interesting thing about this is that this goes for every aspect in the Japanese culture. If you do it first, people are gonna follow you. If you don't do it first, no one's gonna do anything about it. So take the initiative. Now that you know all the things that you're not supposed to do in Japan, you're probably not gonna get into any awkward situations, unlike me in school. And if you're interested in finding out how it's like going to a Japanese school as a foreigner, watch this video. It's funny, I recommend it. Subscribe or I leech your mom. And immediately 9th thing they should... So